Good morning. Andrea Palgett with Coldwell Banker, and today we're going to be talking with George Hartman from Carolina Sanitizing, and we're going to find out the different steps that his company offers to try and keep you and your family safe. So, with Carolina Sanitizing, I know that you guys specialize in keeping surfaces safe, and it's called MicroShield 360, correct?
Yes, it is.
Well, why don't we start with you explaining what MicroShield 360 is exactly?
Sure. MicroShield 360 is a two-step process with electrostatic technology. First, we go through and use a disinfectant that kills 99.99% of bacteria and viruses, including EPA approved to kill SARS-CoV. The second step is applied the same way, and it is a durable biostatic antimicrobial coating that bonds with the surfaces and continues to protect against cross-contamination, mold, bacteria, mildew, odor for an entire year.
What surfaces exactly are you describing?
Well, you can treat any surfaces. There's been tests over thousands of surfaces. In fact, it's being used in multi-million-dollar yachts and private jets right now. I think the only surface we wouldn't want to treat is something that was made of suede, because that doesn't really work and it kind of messes up that material. But any other surfaces in your house, business, school, country club, car, boat, anything else can be treated.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So once you do a treatment, is there a specific time frame that it's good for, or does it have to be reapplied every so often to have the same effectiveness, or how exactly does that work?
Right. So this is a one-time treatment for an entire year. So it's been tested and proven for up to a year. We think it goes longer than that, but we would say in another year, you'd probably want to get it reapplied. But you don't need any touch-up. You don't need anyone to come in and redo it unless you've got a new surface or a new area you want treated, obviously. But there isn't any follow-up needed on our part. We certainly don't recommend stop cleaning after you have this, because
Right.
you want to make sure the surfaces still stay dust free so the bond is constantly working.
So as far as the cost is concerned, how exactly is it billed?
Well, we do it per square foot. So, if it were a boat per se, we'd do it by the length of boat. And if it was a house, we can go pretty much up to 1,500 square feet at a price, and then it would go up from there up to 3,000 square feet, and then it would change again. So it's pretty consistent pricing, but we also understand that this isn't something that people budgeted for because it just popped up, and now everybody's reacting to this, and it makes it. We try to make it very cost sensitive because we understand that people haven't planned for this, but still need it done to keep everybody safe.
So as far as the initial treatment and then the renewals, are they the same cost, or is like the initial cost more and then the renewal is like a fraction because it's just kind of like an upkeep, or how does that?
Right. So it's the same price every treatment because we're redoing it the same way we did it the first time. But again, we know no one budgeted for this. So we keep the initial treatment cost as low as possible, and we use a far superior product, and we keep it still right in line with the typical sanitizing companies that are around right now.
And do you have to sign a contract with you guys? Is there like a 3-year minimum, 1-year minimum, anything like that?
No, absolutely not. We want to come in and do it when you want it done. So, in a year, if you feel like, you don't want to reapply, we're certainly not going to hold you to that. We will remind you that your yearly treatment's coming up, but we can have that discussion when that comes up.
How long does an initial, so let me give like a guesstimate. So like on a 2,000 square foot home, if somebody was doing that, how much would that initial treatment take? Like how much time?
How much time? It would probably take, we like to give it a couple hours, just with travel time and then setup time and breakdown time. The actual treating doesn't take that long because it's electrostatic technology, so you don't need to hit every certain spot of what you're treating because it forms a bond and creates all over that surface. So there's no need to hit right on every surface. So it's pretty quick, but we like to give 2 hours if it was a 2,000 square foot house.
Okay, and so the occupants of that property or boat or whatever, they have to be absent during that time, correct? And
Yeah,
then,
we would suggest while we're treating that everybody or pets and people are out of the house. But when we're finished with the last coating, it's 15 minutes and you're ready to go back in there, and you won't, you'll feel that freshness, but you won't feel any residue or see anything different, and it's completely safe after that.
so that was actually my next question, and you answered it. So I want to touch back on like the boat situation because I know that me myself as I have a boat and I know that that boating season is starting to come to an end.
Right.
And so the boat's going to be put up with probably a cover on it for quite some time. And I know that you had mentioned in a prior conversation that that could be treated and then it would not mold or mildew during that time.
Right. It's fantastic for boats because, as you said, the season's wrapping up. People are going to start storing their boats. We would come in and treat that boat. After you cleaned it and got it ready to go, we'd come in and treat it, and you wouldn't have to be worried about taking that tarp off in 6 months or however long it is and seeing any mold, mildew, or even any odor, really. So it's a perfect treatment for boats that you're going to be putting away for the off season.
That was actually a concern of ours when we were looking for a storage place because everyone cautioned us about putting a cover on it and
Right.
leaving it out for that, and then them telling me that it was never going to get the staining out of it if it did have the mildew or mold come. So we like specifically searched for a place that would dry store it.
Mhm.
So that's really actually a great advantage, and I'm happy to hear that. So
Yeah,
maybe I'll
for
call you.
sure. We haven't treated it on the bottom of boats, or we haven't tested it on the bottom of boats, but we are very confident that even if you sprayed the bottom of the boat when you had it in dry storage, it would eliminate the fact of that growth when you have it in the water that you get if you have it in the water for a period of time.
And I know that you guys are currently like spraying schools, and how's that? I guess like how are people responding to that treatment?
Yeah, we've gotten some great feedback. We just finished spraying Bridges Preparatory School in Beaufort County up here in South Carolina. And the principal and the staff were amazed when they walked into the building. They said the odor was just a fresh smell. It wasn't any fragrance, so to speak. It just smelled fresh. And there was no residue. The teachers were all very happy with their classrooms because there wasn't any residue or anything in the way when they got back in there. And when that was posted on Facebook by Bridges Prep on their site, the list goes on as for people going on there and commenting and saying, this is why we take our children to this school. They really care.
Oh,
And it really shows. And so it was a great testimonial, and we enjoyed doing it.
that's exciting. So as far, I know you guys are looking into like hospitals and stuff, and are you guys a nationwide company? Where are you guys located, or do you travel, or do you have, travel time that you budget for and then you can't go outside of those windows, or how does that?
Right. So MicroShield 360 is a national product. It's been used for years. We introduced it here, and we're fortunate enough to have the approval to sell it and use it here. We're the only authorized dealer, and we can go from South Florida all the way up to upstate South Carolina, and then well into Georgia as well. So we've got crews all over the place. So we never try to let the location limit what we can do.
I think that's a great answer. So if somebody wanted to contact you to get the treatment today, how would they get in contact with you?
Well, you can call me on my cell phone because I'll answer. It's 904-424-6561. Or you could email me at george@carolinasanitizing.com.
And I'll post your information as well. Well, I appreciate your time today. Thank you for all your answers, and good luck into the future.
Thank you so much, Andrea. I appreciate your help.
All right, thanks.
under the sun.